What's up everybody, Tiffany Outdoors here. Today we're going to make some nautical themed home decor. Stay tuned. There's the hawk. Before there was a Tiffany Outdoors, there was Tiffany the farmer.
Follow U-turn when possible.
No, we're not U-turning.
Hi. Hi, what are you doing? Hi, Boo. What?
For this project, I'm going to be using this value pack with 43 design stencils. I got this from Walmart. It was 10 bucks, guys, and there's a whole lot of different stencils in there. So I'm going to choose some of these, and I'm going to be making 3 of these with some wood. I'll show you my wood. Ooh. No, I'm not showing you my wood. I'll show you the wood that I chose and the paints. I've got this paint here. What color is this? Lagoon in a satin color. It doesn't matter if it's satin, gloss, semi-gloss. That's not going to matter because it's just going on wood anyway. So got lagoon colored. Then I have some of these smaller paints. Look, that one's called Laguna also. I have the white and some black, which they're calling this one pavement. Alright, gonna need a little one of these paint trays. Got these at Dollar Tree, and I think you get like 6 or 8 of them in the pack, but got some of that for the small paint. We're gonna need some sponges. I've got some painter's tape, pair of scissors to cut the sponges. And now let me show you the wood that I chose. Alright, I got some 1x4s and 1x2s. This stuff is relatively cheap. I think about $2 to $3 per board. So now first thing I want to do is cut these down to the size of the stencil. So let me go get my tape measure. We'll measure the boards to the size of the stencil. Oh, and I need to pick out 3 stencils. Alright, so the first stencil I definitely want to use is this anchor. I also want to use this, which is like the wheel to steer the ship, a rudder wheel. And I also want to use, alright, so I chose out the anchor, the rudder wheel, and the compass. Alright, now to cut this down, I'm going to cut my board so that they're the same size as this piece of paper here. That'll just make things so much easier for us. Alright, so this is 12 inches. Okay, so I'll cut this 12 inches, and I need to figure out how many boards to make, or how many boards to cut. So I'll start by cutting it down to boards of 12 inches. 12 inches. My mind's going a million miles an hour here. Alright, I've decided to go with 4 boards. If I went with 3, the gap was going to be too big. So I thought that this would look better with 4. So what I'm going to do to attach these 4 pieces together, use that 1x2. I'm going to cut 2 strips here, and then I'm going to put one either at the top or the bottom so that you can use that to put a hanger on, one of those sawtooth hangers. I'm going to put one of those up there. This looks really good. Although, as I'm looking at this, the stencil, it's not evenly spaced on either side, so I'm going to have to eyeball it, kind of like in the middle. Get this What I'll do is I'll go from here to here, measure 6 inches, and line that point up with that 6-inch mark, and that should have this centered on these boards here. All right, first things first, I need to cut my strips and see how long those could be. Now, if you want to save wood, you can cut it just long enough to attach these. So I'll cut my strip at 12 inches, cut 2 at 12 inches, and then 1 at, let's say 2 inches. 1 piece at 2 inches up here for our sawtooth hanger. All right, let me cut my 1x2s. I'll be right back. I've got all my pieces cut out. Now I'm just going to sand this down real quick and knock off the rough edges. All right, I'm going to flip these face down. Now I'm going to evenly space them out as best as I can. Try and get them all lined up. Okay. Here. That's going to go there. See if we can't get this pretty much lined up also. Let's see. There we go. And then I'm going to use my brad nailer. Put 2 nails in each board. I'm going to try and stagger them. I'm going to use 1-inch brad nails. Guys, if you don't have a brad nailer, it's okay. You can just as easily use finished nails for this. Okay? There we go. Ah, that looks good. Alright, next thing I want to do is get this thing painted. Let's grab my paint and get to work. I forgot to add my little hanger here. And I'm just going to eyeball that. Actually, I want to make sure at least get it in the middle. There we go. That's close enough. And I'm leaving it a little bit of space here at the top, so it's not directly on top. Oh, and this, you definitely want to make sure to get this as straight and even as possible, because if you don't, it'll be crooked. We don't want that. Let's see here. There we go. There we go. Alright. Now how to paint this. Oh, that's nice. Oh, I like that. It also might be a good idea to paint these before you staple them together, but that's okay. Get all sides. Oh, that looks really good. Really happy with that color. Alright, I'm going to let this dry. And while this is drying, I'm going to go ahead and make the other two, and then I'll come back to you. Alright, my paint's all dry for the base. Now it's time to use our stencil. Like I said, this stencil is not even on the paper. You see there's more space on this side than this side, so all I'm going to do is measure 6 inches in and then line up that point right with the 6-inch mark, and that right there should be even. I'm going to take a couple of strips of painter's tape, and what I'll do is tape this down so it doesn't move while I'm painting. Now I'll probably be trying some different methods, like I'll be using the sponge and I'll be using a paintbrush probably for these smaller pieces here. For this rope section I probably will use this, but for the larger section I'm going to use this sponge and just dab it on. And let's get started. Alright guys, what do you think? Now don't worry, if you do not have a saw, if you don't have a means to cut these boards and things, Walmart does sell a piece of wood that's just flat. And I believe it's about this size and probably about $5 or $6. So if you don't have a saw or anything, don't worry, you can buy the board from Walmart and do the same exact thing. Now, I had a piece left over. Stay tuned. I'm gonna do something with this. I've decided to use this too. We'll make another project. Stay tuned for that video. If you haven't already, make sure you hit that like and subscribe. Thank you for watching. I'll see you all in the next video. Goodbye.